They say geniuses don't fall in love, that people who build rockets and electric cars don't have time for hearts and emotions. But they're wrong, because even the man who dreams of Mars once dreamed of love. Elon was always lost between two worlds, the world of logic and the world of feeling. He could design a rocket engine with precision, but when it came to her, he was just human. She wasn't a scientist. She didn't know much about space or code, but she understood silence. The kind of silence that comes from a soul working alone, and that's what made him fall. He met her on an ordinary evening. No cameras, no fame. Just a man with tired eyes and a dream too heavy for his heart. And for the first time in years, he didn't talk about Mars or Tesla or AI. He just talked about her. She listened, not to his words, but to the pain behind them. And in that moment, something inside Elon changed. He realized love wasn't a distraction, it was fuel. While the world saw him as a billionaire chasing planets, she saw the boy who once looked at the stars and felt alone. She didn't love Elon Musk, the name. She loved the man who never stopped dreaming, even when it broke him. And maybe that's what real love is, finding someone who believes in your madness. Love is beautiful, but when you're chasing the stars, it comes with a cost. Elon's days turned into nights, and his nights into battles with time. She waited for messages that never came, calls that never rang, and promises buried under deadlines. He wasn't ignoring her. He was fighting gravity, the gravity of his dreams pulling him away from everything he loved. Sometimes she'd walk into his lab, see him staring at a screen filled with rocket blueprints, and she'd smile, whispering, "Don't forget to live, Elon." He'd look up, his eyes tired but soft. "I'm trying," he'd say, "but every time I look at you, I remember why I'm doing this." She didn't want a billionaire. She wanted him, the man who once talked about stars like they were alive. But success can be loud. Cameras, meetings, flights, chaos, and somewhere in that noise, love began to fade. Not because they stopped caring, but because love needs time, and time was the one thing Elon could never buy. Still, in every launch, every invention, every impossible dream, she was there in his thoughts. Her words became his echo. Don't forget to live. And that's what kept him human. When the world wanted him to be a machine. The letter he never sent. Years passed. The rockets finally flew, the world finally clapped, and Elon Musk became a name written among the stars, but every victory came with a shadow, and in that shadow lived a silence, and her silence. They had drifted apart quietly, like two planets pulled in different orbits, still glowing, but too far to touch. One night he found an old photograph, her smile frozen in time, a reminder of the only person who ever saw him before the world did. He sat at his desk, and for the first time in years, he didn't open blueprints. He opened his heart. He wrote, "You once told me not to forget to live. I didn't listen. I built rockets that reached Mars, but I couldn't build a bridge back to you. People call me a genius, but genius means nothing when your heart feels empty. You were right. Love isn't a distraction from greatness. It's what makes greatness worth it." He never sent that letter. He folded it, placed it in a drawer, and looked up at the stars. The same stars they once dreamed beneath together. And maybe somewhere out there, on a quiet night, she looks at the same sky and smiles. Because even if love couldn't stay, it became the fire that helped him fly. This isn't a story about rockets, or billionaires, or success. It's a story about how love, even when lost, can still launch you to the stars. Future spark where dreams and hearts collide.